Welcome, my friends, to Change Request Flow. Lots of you reading the PMBOK guide and process groups of practice guide, and you're wondering how change requests flow. Let's jump straight into it. But where do change requests come from? It could come from a variety of places. There could be a customer need, an issue, a risk, a defect, an impediment of some sort, a project or problem. All of these are things that need fixing, and fixing, in many instances, requires a change. Now, this change request could be either generated by a customer or generated as a result of the things in the orange box. Now, it starts off usually with a verbal request when generated from the customer, and that needs to be documented formally. So there needs to be a formal change request. You could also get a formal change request generated from any of the options I showed you, from a customer need all the way down to internal and external factors causing change. Step 3 is to enter that change request into a change log. The PMI is big about the change log, and you see this generated as an output from perform integrated change control on the project document. So it is important to know. Once you have captured the change request in the change log, there can be an impact analysis with the team, and all constraints and areas are considered. Then the project manager sends the request and analysis to the change control board. The change control board reviews the change request and the analysis. The change control board performs the analysis and decides the outcome. The change control board has options to either approve or reject the request. If it's a yes or a no, whatever happens, the PM or the CCB documents the outcome. If the PM is on the CCB, then of course they'll know what to update. Or it could be a CCB member updating that change log. If it's a yes, then there's an approved change request, and that becomes an input to direct and manage project work so that the work can be done. Either way, the change log will be shared with stakeholders. If it's a yes, then the approved change request is going to go into direct and manage project work and affect the deliverable in some way. The deliverable will go to control quality to be inspected, and if there is a positive outcome, then we get a verified deliverable, and that goes to the customer in validate scope for the customer to inspect. And if the customer is happy with it, then we get an accepted deliverable, and that becomes an input to close project or phase, where there will be a final transition to the happy customer. That is the first layer of understanding, but the story gets deeper. Think about it like this. There could be a verbal request, put it in formal writing, and then log it in the change log, just like I said in the previous slide, and analyze it with the team and send it to the change control board. The change control board is going to review the change request and the analysis and decide the outcome. The project manager or CCB member documents it in the change log. The change log is shared with stakeholders. And if it's a yay, then the project manager and the team carry out that approved change request. But wait, there's actually more, which is why I'm showing you this. At step 6, there could be a segue into some sort of negotiations or additional talks with the requester, with the customer. This is where the change control board could say, give us more information, or they could negotiate with the requester. If the change control board does not include the sponsor and the customer, they need to be kept in the loop in 6C. This is where the CCB seeks approval from other approving authorities. Whatever the case, we're going to loop back into the mainstream, and ultimately, whether there was a negotiation or whether there was the inclusion of the customer and sponsor, ultimately that yellow box needs to be completed. The yellow box that you see there, it represents approval, rejection, putting it on hold, or pending something else. But the bottom line is action needs to be taken to decide what the outcome of that change request is. And that's it, my friends. I hope this clarifies it for you. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you've got any questions, as usual, put them in the comments below. All the best on your PMP or CAPM exam.